Long Island College Hospital, Brooklyn, New York. Founded in 1856 and originally comprising a hospital and medical school, Long Island College Hospital, LICH for short, is steeped in history and was the first U.S. medical school to use bedside teaching in its curriculum. In 1950, the medical school broke off and became a part of the State University of New York system, becoming the SUNY Downstate College of Medicine. All through 2013, residents in the neighborhoods around LICH, hospital employees, unions, and various politicians have fought persistently to save the hospital. Why? Because potential closure threatens LICH and protesters are desperately trying to prevent it. It is the responsibility of SUNY Downstate to work with the New York State Department of Health to find a solution to keep Long Island College Hospital open, because the residents of the neighborhoods LICH serves have the right to a full-service hospital within a close vicinity. In the early 90s, LICH's financial struggles began. In an attempt to help solve these issues, the hospital let itself be bought by Continuum Health Partners, a healthcare system, and LICH was no longer an independent hospital. However, Continuum ultimately did not aid LICH very much, if at all. Many LICH employees were quite upset with the Continuum management.
We all felt that they were using our hospital mainly as a source of patients for Beth Israel. They charged us for a lot of services that they provided that we thought we could have provided ourselves much cheaper.
By the late 2000s, LICH was on the verge of closure. New York Supreme Court Justice Carolyn Demarest, in an effort to save the hospital, approved a takeover of LICH by its former affiliate SUNY Downstate.
She approved the merger. And then she ruled that she had made a mistake in that the merger was null and void, which of course would have been a big victory for us. But then she reversed herself.
Unfortunately, Downstate's management of LICH did not end up being ideal and the financial problems were not solved.
Everyone was looking for someone to buy it, and SUNY took it over. And maybe that was a bad idea all along because they never did a good job, honestly. They never put in a plan to fix it up. They never put in a plan to do more outreach, to get more patients.
According to an audit by State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli in January of 2013, the hospital has experienced cash shortfalls averaging nearly $3 million each week. Many LICH employees disagreed.
Well, it's a marked exaggeration. We never came close to losing that kind. I don't know where they got that money. In fact, I have information that the 2 months before they announced the closure, we almost broke even.
In February 2013, SUNY voted to close LICH, claiming it was losing too much money. Unions, employees, politicians, and community members were furious and began protesting, which they continued doing through December, even bringing SUNY to court.
One of the court cases we had was based on the fact that the original agreement, that the judge that approved the merger, one of the provisos of that was that the LICH would remain a full-service hospital.
State Supreme Court Justice Johnny Lou Baines issued a restraining order halting closure activity for a month. The next month, SUNY voted again to close LICH and another restraining order was issued. In early May, the search began for a new operator for the hospital. In late June, SUNY ordered ambulance service to the hospital to be halted, causing ambulances to be diverted to other hospitals, such as Brooklyn Hospital and New York Methodist Hospital.
Especially Methodist has been overwhelmed. For a time, when our ER was on diversion, their ER, the ambulances couldn't even get to the ambulance bays to drop off patients.
This left LICH nearly empty. SUNY tried to justify the diversion of ambulances by saying the faculty level at LICH was unsafe for emergency patients. According to SUNY spokesman Stephen Greenberg, every decision that has been made in the interest of safety and patient health. Many object to this argument, saying that there have been sufficient employees, but SUNY has been furloughing and firing them. Justice Baines said the diversion was in direct violation of his orders and appointed a referee to supervise LICH and report back to him, while Justice Carolyn Demarest mandated that emergency services be restored by August, but the deadline was extended to September. Throughout 2013, former public advocate Bill de Blasio was very involved in protests and in court to save the hospital. He brought much more attention to the situation. On July 10th, he participated in a demonstration outside a SUNY office in Manhattan, where he was eventually arrested for disorderly conduct, just as he had hoped for. As he walked into a police vehicle, he said the following.
We're going to lose Long Island College Hospital in a matter of weeks if we don't act now. We're going to lose Interfaith Hospital. We have to stop hospital closures in the city. People are going to be much sicker in the city if we keep losing hospitals. People are going to lose their job. We have to fight it.
In mid-August, Justice Baines issued an order requiring that SUNY Downstate restore staffing and equipment levels to their state on July 19th. He also began a standstill period during which closure activity was not to occur until proper negotiations could be made. In early September, many LICH employees' contracts began to expire and they were not receiving new ones. This was in violation of orders to maintain staffing levels, so Justice Baines appointed 2 LICH doctors to report to the referee about the state of LICH, who would in turn report to Baines.
On September 6th, ambulance service was finally restored to LICH, much to the pleasure of protesters.
In a tremendous blow to the closure proceedings by SUNY, Justice Baines stated in a ruling on September 13th that the state's hospital closure laws were unconstitutionally vague.
Until they have new regulations that meet certain standards, they can't really close the hospital.
In late October, 500 LICH employees were notified that they would be laid off the next week. Protesters gathered furiously, saying that this was just another attempt by SUNY to starve the hospital out of existence. One evening in early November, LICH employees received a call from a SUNY downstate official that ambulances to LICH were being banned again and that admissions to the hospital were to be halted. EMT workers came to LICH in the dead of the night to transfer patients to other hospitals. Protesters complained to Justice Baines that SUNY was blatantly violating the requirements he had issued.
SUNY downstate said, after receiving countless complaints, that they would restore ambulance service later that week. SUNY had once again blamed the abrupt diversion on staffing shortages, and once again it was rebutted by people saying the staffing levels were low because SUNY was firing and furloughing employees. A contempt hearing against SUNY downstate was pushed from its set date in mid-November to mid-December. Allegations against downstate that were to be brought up at the hearing included refusal to admit patients, padlocking patient units, and intimidating staff and patients with armed guards.
In mid-December, SUNY downstate revealed that, although they had been previously denying it, they had been considering real estate development plans for the hospital's property. They claimed that, in the words of spokesman David Doyle, SUNY undertook broad and good faith efforts to seek out a new operator for the facility, and no one came forward with a viable plan to run a full-service hospital. The development plan introduced would involve SUNY selling off LICH's property to the Fortis Property Group, who would convert it into condominiums and lease part of it back to a healthcare provider, which would open an urgent care center, or URGI center for short.
If you have a true emergency room, it would still benefit the community in a certain way, because obviously people that are seriously ill could be stabilized in an emergency room here and transferred someplace else. Most URGI centers aren't really equipped to handle those kind of patients. They're just really there to take care of sore throats and cuts and bruises.
However, SUNY board members surprisingly voted to withdraw the plan, at least temporarily. Now, in January 2014, the fate of LICH is still not clear. What is clear, however, is that LICH employees have a definitive vision of what they want the hospital's fate to be.
I'm hoping for it to be fully opened with full service with patients.
The outcome is for the hospital to go back to full service as we've been doing before.
Well, I would like it to open up, of course, as a full hospital.
There are several important reasons why their solution is the correct one.
LICH is the nearest hospital, and if LICH is open, then some of those people's lives are going to be saved, and if it's not open, then the time it takes to get somewhere else, they might not be.
The diminishment in competition resulting from a closure of LICH will undoubtedly reduce the incentive for other hospitals in the Brooklyn area from providing high-quality care. There will be a large number of displaced patients from LICH, and those patients will overcrowd and cause delays in care at some of the other Brooklyn hospitals.
Despite the many ideas about the ultimate outcome of the hospital, it is evident that LICH is vital to the community it serves.
LICH is like family. LICH is like family.
Save it!